Lala Anthony tried to say that Carmelo's Hall of Fame speech was the ultimate betrayal. She feels betrayed because he didn't mention her after he mentioned everybody else. Maybe if she stayed on the program, he would thank you, but you're done.
But the fact that her, and she didn't do anything wrong, she was a victim, and then and they still have a decent relationship to this day, and he didn't mention her, absolutely, that was a slight.
Sometimes it be so mind-blowing how these women want you to include them in something that has absolutely nothing to do with them. They be wanting you to dim your light so they can shine.
I don't understand why this is this hard to understand. I don't know why this is this hard to understand. But I got to address the whole Carmelo Anthony, Lala Anthony or Lala situation. It's very, it's just weird. It's just weird that we're adults and people don't understand how odd certain things are. It's really strange. And maybe it's because most of you have never been, I'm talking about the people that are commenting on this. Most of the people who I'm going to show you guys, maybe because you guys aren't married, you never been married, you never raised the child together. You know what I mean? Like maybe that's what it is. I don't know. I don't want to personalize it that much, but like it could be that. I hate to do the whole, but like, oh, not you don't understand because it's not in your circle, you know, whatever that people say. But like, I really feel like that might have a lot to do with it. But in reality, though, I think that it has more to do with the fact that you guys just have hella ingrained misogyny and misogynoir. And it's crazy. And it's even a woman here. I wanted to make sure that we showed what she said too, because I'm like, what the fuck? What the freak? Now, first things first, I don't know, because I looked it up. I haven't seen Lala respond to this publicly whatsoever. So maybe it's true, maybe it's not. I couldn't see it. I did a search. I didn't find anything. I found people saying this about what she said, but I haven't actually seen the thing. So, you know, I don't want to accuse Lala may not give a fuck about this. By the way, we may all be arguing and Lala may be sitting at home like, no, I fully knew he would do this and I don't care. But we'll see.
Lala Anthony tried to say that Carmelo's Hall of Fame speech was the ultimate betrayal. She feels betrayed because he didn't mention her after he mentioned everybody else. He mentioned his mom, and you know wives can't stand their husband's mom.
They're not married. So they're not married. It's not his wife.
Man tried to hang a picture of his mom in the house, his wife would take it down the very next day, or if not,
and he's just making up stuff. Again, this is a child talking, right? And I hate to, I'm gonna tell you something about mother-in-laws and daughter-in-laws. Most of the time, and if you think about this logically, it actually makes sense. So most of the time, the person who causes the division between the mother-in-law and the daughter-in-law is the mother-in-law and the son, to be honest with you. But the mother-in-law is a huge part of the problem, typically. A lot of mother-in-laws have like a sense of entitlement, and a lot of them be on some weird stuff with their sons, like infatuated with their sons. Like it's weird. Trust me, it's weird. And father-in-law, same way. Father-in-laws be having these like weird relationships with their daughters where they don't think any man is good enough for their daughter. And so, you know, I don't know, it's weird, right? But a lot of mother-in-laws have that, and they don't respect boundaries. Mother-in-laws don't respect boundaries, right? Because if you think about it logically, the daughter-in-law is at first, most of they're trying to impress the mother-in-law. So it doesn't make any sense for the daughter-in-law to be the issue the majority of the time. Like she typically isn't the problem. It's usually the mother-in-law that has some issue, that takes up some fucking stupid ass issue, and the daughter-in-law has to bite her tongue, and this is when the man comes into play, because they mention it. The daughter-in-law mentions it to the man, and the man doesn't do anything, you know, and then that just they allow the relationship to devolve. So like trying to make it seem like the daughter-in-law is just bitter against the mother-in-law is stupid. That's typically not what it is.
would take it down the very next day, or if not that same day. He even thanked his college. He had no mention of her, and I don't blame him. As soon as we break up, it's done. I don't want nothing to do with you. Yes, she's his son's mother, but that's all. You weren't with them shooting in the gym. Maybe if she stayed on the program, he would thank you, but you're done.
Yeah. That you wasn't with me shooting in the gym line, again, shows me how little you guys understand relationships. Why couldn't she be with Carmelo shooting in the gym? Take a wild guess. What? I wonder what happened. Wonder if she had some other prior engagements. I wonder. I'm really trying to think about that. Oh, she was raising their fucking son, you dummy. That's why she wasn't. Well, I'm sorry. Let me take that back. She wasn't with him shooting in the gym because that's his job. And what wife goes to their man's job? So take basketball out of it. Take sports out of it, right? Let's take you for an example. Backwards hat guy, adult with a backwards hat guy, or whatever. Let's take this for an example, right? Whatever you do, if this is what you do, social media or whatever the case may be. Would you expect your wife to be like with you farming content? And you know what I'm saying? Like, if that's not actually her job, like she has a real job, she has a whole other job, right? And you are a content creator. Why would you be expecting your wife to be there with you while you were doing your job? What if you worked in a warehouse? Would your wife have to be with you while you were working in a warehouse? Like, it just doesn't make any sense. So just because Drake said that shit in a song, and Drake is a fucking idiot, like he knows nothing about being in a relationship, by the way. He's a big ass man child. Y'all have really bought into that idea, but you a fucking lame, you a goofy, you don't understand it as a man. You're a child. And most men are children, even when they're grown. Y'all still act like children. You still have the mind of a 15-year-old, an adolescent.
Especially if she moved on with somebody else, you really gotta cut it off. I don't care if it was a temporary thing. As soon as I imagine you bouncing on somebody else, I'm cutting it loose. All we have to talk about is our son. Ain't no getting back together. I'm not trying to rekindle anything. And for her to be tripping about not being brought up in his Hall of Fame speech, please. Man, I would have been petty and thanked my son. I would have been like, thank you for the inspiration. I would have even thanked my neighbors. Thanks for that cake you brought me that one day. Once that relationship is over, it's over. If y'all were still married and he didn't bring you up, that's a different story. She's tripping. On top of that, I've never seen an actor win an Oscar and thank their ex-wife. They thank the producers and everybody who was involved with making the movie. They thank their mama. They thank God. She no longer gets the perks of being with a baller. You're out of the...
So, also a few things. Just so we're clear, like this dummy just said that, oh, she didn't stick with the program. Carmelo Anthony cheated on her several times, like public. Like he didn't he have a baby on her, like while they were together, some crazy shit like that. He cheated on that woman. He abused that woman. What the fuck? Why would she need to stay with the program? Like, that's stupid as fuck. It's again, I would understand any of these takes if she wronged him. If she cheated on him multiple times, okay, I get that. But the fact that he abused her and she didn't do anything wrong, she was a victim, and then they still have a decent relationship to this day, and he didn't mention her, absolutely, that was a slight. Absolutely, that's a slight, no doubt about it.
Sometimes it be so mind-blowing how these women want you to include them in something that has absolutely nothing to do with them. They be wanting you to dim your light so they can shine. So Carmelo Anthony just got inducted into the Hall of Fame, basketball, NBA Hall of Fame. And his ex-wife, Lala, granted, he was the one who cheated and stepped out, had a baby on her. But granted, she divorced him, and she's mad that he didn't mention her in his Hall of Fame speech.
How can you, how are we blowing past that? Granted, that's the whole thing. She did nothing wrong and she still supported him. She did nothing wrong and she still supported him. Why wouldn't he shout her out? You only lose the shout out privilege if you wrong the person. If you supported the person and didn't do anything wrong, why wouldn't that be acknowledged? Like, yo, you guys are shit, y'all lost.
Baby girl, you're gone. You're the fucking ex-wife. Do I still have love for you? Yes. Did we create a beautiful child and he's going to go on to do amazing things? Yes. But this is about my career. You didn't stick with me until the end. You fucking left. And now if I want to mention you, I can. But if I don't, I'm not obligated.
She left because he cheated on her and had a baby. You guys, you can just listen to these dudes. They want to punish women. No matter what the man did, we need to punish the woman. He cheated. He had a baby on her while they're together, but you left. But if the tables were turned, y'all will be up here. Look, man, y'all are the same men who been attacking Travis Hunter's wife now for 2 years, saying, oh, she don't really love him. She don't really like him. They not, oh, she was in somebody else's DMs. Like, he needs to run for the hills. This nigga Carmelo Anthony had a baby while in a relationship with her, and then she left him, and this fool is like, but you the one who left. What? Yes, you would, brother, please. And I want y'all to keep in mind that all of these things that are being said are alleged, because I haven't seen anything that could corroborate the story that Lala actually said this stuff. I haven't watched the Breakfast Club clip, so if it's in there somewhere, I don't know. But I looked it up again. I read a whole article on it. I didn't see anything. Haven't seen a stitch of anything.
Should Carmelo Anthony had mentioned Lala in his NBA Hall of Fame speech?
Yes.
I just saw this post on Facebook, and it was a woman on Twitter talking
That's your problem right there. You on Facebook. That's strike 1, 2, and 3.
about Carmelo Anthony should have included Lala in his NBA Hall of Fame speech. And I just don't think so, because why? They wasn't together when he got drafted, and they not together now that he getting inducted into the Hall of Fame. So, I mean, like, if they was together, of course, he'll be like, you know, something like, shout out to my beautiful wife, or something like that. But they not together. So why would he mention, like, what did she do to contribute to his NBA journey? Or
Raise his child, love him, motivate him, show up for him emotionally. It's typical shit that women do. Wow, this is crazy.
his NBA career. Like, I mean, like, you know, because some people's speeches, they be like, oh.
I also think Melo could have not mentioned her out of embarrassment, if you think about it, which I still don't give him a pass. But I think a large part of it, I don't think he's like mad at her or anything like that. Like, these idiots are trying to act like they're putting themselves in Melo's position and being in Melo's shoes, which they would never be in, on some like, oh, Shawty gone, she out of his life. Like he's actually trying to punish her. I don't even think Melo's trying to punish her. I think Melo is embarrassed to mention it, because then what comes with that? Then that's like his image is tarnished forever because of how he treated his ex-wife. So why would he want to bring that up? You know what I'm saying? But that's something that he needs to deal with, though, not her. See what I'm saying? He don't need to punish her because of his embarrassment. He needs to own what the fuck he did.
Oh yeah, my girl that was there for me through college or through my rookie years or something like that. But I mean, like, what has she contributed to his career that he should mention her in his Hall of Fame speech?
And I want y'all to keep in mind, again, these are the very same men that be out here trying to convince women left and right that oh, y'all, we need to be in community with one another. We need to love on each other. It's the same men. It's the same men. But now when it comes to this, now all of a sudden what do wives even do for their husbands? What was you even doing? You wasn't with him shooting in the gym. Like, he don't even need the triangulation, the circular logic, the gaslighting mixed up into a pot. Oh, it's a wicked spell. You niggas is warlocks. Y'all out here whipping up spells to control and manipulate women.
Carmelo Anthony got inducted into the Hall of Fame, and people are talking about how he didn't mention Lala in his speech. Y'all do understand that Lala is his ex-wife. He don't have to mention her. Also, he built that career on his own. She was an addition to him at one point, and then they got a divorce. So again, why would he have to mention his ex-wife? I'm confused.
When did they start dating? How old was Carmelo? Carmelo was in his early 20s when they started dating and when they got married, bro. Like, what are you talking about? They didn't. I said, bro, I didn't mean, bro. But ma'am, they were in there. I'm used to talking to men. Usually men are the ones that sound this stupid. That's that's my reflex. Sorry. Anyways, this is crazy. She was with him when he was a young man. She helped him grow. She helped him develop, without a doubt, in every way, shape, or form.
Y'all find anything to like try to bring up and tear down somebody's accomplishment. How about y'all just congratulate him for what he has achieved? You know, I don't get why he would need to mention her or thank her. Yeah, that is Cayenne's mother, but what that got to do with anything? He's being honored for his accomplishments in basketball. What does he need to thank her for? Let's be fucking for real here, y'all. Like, for real. I'm still trying to figure it out. Like, why would he need to thank her or mention her or say anything about her in that moment?
All I can think about right now is I'm thinking about Birdie from Waiting to Exhale. I'm thinking about Angela Bassett's character. Like, imagine being Angela Bassett. Imagine being Birdie. And you was his lover and his secretary. You know what I'm saying? Like, you really was like with him, thugging it out, grinding it out with him, forgiving him for all his transgressions, whatever. And then he like gets to this point and he just like, no, I'm not mentioning you. And again, I actually think it is less nefarious than what these people are assuming it is by saying things like, oh, you're not with him anymore. That's why he didn't mention you. Like, I honestly think it has way more to do with him being embarrassed. That's what I really think it is. And that's not to give Carmelo a pass, but that's not the same. Like, if it was what they're saying it was, I'd be more like I guess pressing Melo, but like I really think it's more like Melo just hasn't. It just proves that Melo hasn't really taken complete accountability for what he did, and he's trying to ignore it and ignore his demons or whatever the case may be. And I don't appreciate that because again, I feel like he just disrespected Lala. Not one last time, but once again. You know what I'm saying? And y'all can try to talk y'all way out of it and be like, you don't owe her. And like, I don't know about owe or whatever, but I'm telling you, if I was Lala, I'd be disrespected. I would feel disrespected. I would feel slighted. Like I could see why she would feel slighted if she does. I don't know if she does though, by the way, again, because I haven't heard her talk about it. So I don't know. But if she is if she feels disrespected and she does feel like he slighted her, I'm 100% on her team. 100%. If she doesn't, cool, fine. I'm not like, damn, you don't feel like that. Like, I don't, fine. You don't have to feel like that. She did her work. She's good. But I definitely could see if she was to be, feel some type of way about it. She is well within her right.